What are we doing here today, Pete?
What are we doing here? We're outside again. Um, we're on the West Toronto Railpath. I say that properly. It's like a tongue twister. West Toronto Railpath. And recently, there's a big chunk of this rail path here in Toronto that's been reopened. We're right by an area where you can get a really fast train to the airport. You know, big advancements here in the city, which is a great thing. But more importantly, they've taken some time to consider some of these public spaces, and we thought it was a really cool idea to come and sort of see what we can borrow from this or talk about, because there's some really great ideas here that we actually Toronto's really great at coming up with big ideas. I don't mean to criticize here, but I'm gonna. And sometimes maybe falls a little flat on the execution. This was a good one. This executed pretty well.
Well, I just said as we were walking up here months
Yes,
before.
voice off camera.
It's me. Hello. What in the springtime I'd come out here before they closed the rail path for construction, and this was like nothing. It was just dead mud grass land, and it was great because there was lots of dogs running around, but it was just kind of muddy and wasted space.
So, like, I mean, have a pan through
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna try to be like a videographer here.
This was just like a dirty old gully patch, and look at what they've done. So
I'm quite impressed. Good job, City of Toronto.
Follow me. So what you've got here is you've got this path, right? Which is like, this is the commuter path. This is the path. I got to get someplace. I'm going to ride my bike, my skateboard, my inline skates, and whatever. Understanding usage, right? And appreciating people probably want to be pulling suitcases. Jesus, I lost my words there. Suitcases and other types of things up to the train as well, too, right? So you need a nice path like that. So kept that stuff in mind. And I think the important thing there is someone was thinking, okay, there's people that need to go quickly, bikes and walking and all that kind of stuff. And then there's this, right? So here we've got like a nice kind of like crushed limestone path. They didn't get. I mean, the graffiti's here and this concrete walls here, and
but we're in the city, so it's
right?
what it is. Yeah.
These are all native plantings. Okay, these are just prairie seed grass, drop seed.
You're really kicking.
Yeah,
I didn't get that kicking motion.
There's like maiden grass there. There's echinacea, coneflowers there.
I'm learning all my species
today. Yeah. Species, Joe Pye weed. That might be like a, I don't know. It might be an elm tree. I'm not sure.
Okay, so enough with the nerding of the plants. So tell us about what.
Jeez, it's dangerous here. No, but here's the thing. They brought all these really beautiful, like, this place looks fantastic, and it's all native plants. It's nothing, that's some exotic thing that we need to figure out, 100 different ways to plant and all that kind of stuff. Stuck to pollinators, native, good stuff, and this is going to be low maintenance. It's in the interest of the city to do that. And the great thing is that if you're the homeowner, you should be taking that lead, right? All this stuff is native. All this stuff is making a happy environment.
Well, it's also near. Like, can we talk about where it's sort of near? Like, I'm going to go here. Hopefully, these people don't mind that they're on camera.
Yeah.
So that's like the railroad tracks. Okay. Yeah. So it's not like, we're not in the super like scenic.
No.
English countryside here. Yeah. We are as urban as it gets, and
absolutely.
I think that's the important thing here is that these plantings and the plants and the combinations like you were talking about are great because they can sort of thrive in the most craziest of environments, like next to a railroad track.
Sense of place,
right?
Yeah. You can take a sort of maybe taking a page out of the High Line. In New York City. I mean, the High Line's the High Line. And Pete Udolph, master plantsman there, to design that whole thing. But certainly in that tradition of what they're calling, like, they call like new perennials kind of thing. Again, just coming back to what we're talking about here is that we've got plants that that are native to this area, that like this space, and that's what was planted here, and they look awesome. So it's a choice of a few things repeated,
And
and
how could people sort of duplicate this kind of like theory or concept or whatever in their homes?
easy. You know what? It's about thinking about creating a space that, so first, your plantings, right? Two, your uses. What are you going to be doing in your outdoor space, right? Someone sat here and thought there's going to be people walking and trying to get to the trains, and there's other people that are going to be walking their dogs and wanting to go and just chill and just relax and take in what's going on out, take in the outdoors. Okay, so those two things are what's getting serviced here, right? And it's like you get to chill. Then you've got some furniture. You've got outdoor furniture here. So we walk along this crushed limestone path. Cute little gate, my goodness. And then you've got, you know, the benches are done. They're stained, but they're done using what, sort of kind of, pulls on the rail tie kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I like that
Nicer
actually.
wood, but rail ties, right? And then you've got this open space. So this is the foil, as you would say. So you got to create something for everything to contrast again. So we've got this white concrete, and we got these black low iron fences that are really just about stay out of the garden, dummy, right? I mean, we don't want people in the garden. And then look at these plantings. This stuff has all only been here like a year, right?
Less than a year.
What's that?
Less than a year. I was
Less than
here
a
in the
year.
springtime and it was
Yeah.
garbage-ooly.
Yeah. Look at that. We've got some sumac there. Sumac's one of the most underappreciated plants out there. Everyone thinks it's only supposed to be on the side of a road. It belongs in your garden. Anyways, all I'm talking about here, I guess, is really native plantings, planting natively, putting in some places. If it is going to be a place that you sit, find some really cool seating. You know what I mean? Something that makes sense in there, pulls on something that's from the environment that you're around. Create some contrast. This is just concrete. I think in some backyards or front yards or spaces or public spaces it might work. It could work in probably more backyards than you can imagine, right? I mean, I think they just did a really beautiful job here. So I want to recap, why we're even here. It's like you had some, well paid and good designers here who did some really good work. And a lot of thinking went into this. A space that is well considered, that considers the people that are in it, that considers the place that you're in insofar as like the uses, the space around it, and then makes the most of it and gets creative with how things are arranged, how the seating is, and what materials we use, and that kind of thing. And we even created a new term, pollinators. That's not a type of crocodile. Those are pollinators. So I don't know about that. I don't know about that breaking up of the word, but anyways, a really beautiful job, and I think some valuable lessons that you can learn and apply at your home.